Hey everybody, it's Judy Cohen, and this is Wake Up Call 500. So, a lot of people were asking me, thanks, Sue. A lot of people were asking me what I was going to say on the 500th call. And so I was looking around, was something especially important happening in my life today or something like that, and it's not. And I could have engineered it for my birthday week, but I didn't. Um, and then I was thinking about, the other things that a lot of us do together, like MLTT, and maybe the cohort was going to be full by today and we'd be celebrating, but it's not. We still have a few open spots, and none of our kids is doing anything especially important this week. And the world is, yeah, where the world is. So all of that investigation, rather than pointing towards something extraordinary, was pointing at nothing special. And so that felt like the point. Because in my experience, that's also the case with practice, right? So I was with this wonderful group of teachers on Tuesday, the Teachers Collective of the Mindfulness and Law Society. And if you're teaching and you're not part of that yet, please join us. It's a very sweet group. And we were talking about what practices are supporting us right now, since we're all impacted by the world, and then we're all trying to help by teaching, and also help by modeling what we're teaching, right? Which for the most part is resilience and equanimity, and then compassionate action, right? Probably everyone here is doing that. And everyone was in their own place at their own pace. And when it was my turn, I realized and I shared that these days equanimity is often a default for me, which made me feel really glad, because equanimity is such a good vantage point from which to observe the moment, whether it's the political moment, opening the paper, or a moment at the office or at home. But it also made me feel humble, because equanimity, like everything conditioned, is impermanent. It's not always present, right? And so when I say it's a default, I mean it arises after the news upsets me or after I get triggered, as a state of mind or a state of heart, but it's not perpetual, because nothing is perpetual, right? So maybe equanimity is your default, or maybe your default is metta, loving kindness, unconditional friendliness, meaning that's where you come back to. Or maybe it's patience or generosity after a moment when you're activated. Or compassion. Compassion might be so durable for you that it feels available most of the time, reliable. Or another skillful state, maybe mindfulness, all of which is really wonderful. But there's an old Zen proverb, which probably everyone has heard: after enlightenment, the laundry. And Jack Kornfield used it for the title of a book. And I was looking around for a good definition. I found one that was written by Henry Schuchman, who was the guiding teacher at Mountain Cloud Zen Center in New Mexico for a long time. And he said, the definition is: whatever may happen in our practice, no matter what revelations may or may not befall us, we always trust our daily life to be our endless primary teacher. So I'm not saying equanimity or metta or compassion equal enlightenment, especially since I have no idea what enlightenment is. But what I'm saying is there's noticing that equanimity or compassion or patience or generosity are happening, and being glad for that. There's 500 weeks of the wake up call and being glad for that. There's however many notches you have on your trial belt or your deal belt, however many, truly remarkable things you've done as a lawyer, a teacher, a human, and being glad for all of that, for all of the big things, for all of the positive developments in your practice and the accomplishments in your life. And then there's the laundry, right? There's daily life, ordinary daily life, as our endless primary teacher. So for me, what this means is, yay for equanimity being a default, but only if it translates into being the one on the boat who remains calm when everyone else starts to panic so that no one panics and everyone survives, which is what Thich Nhat Hanh taught, right? Or yay for compassion being a default, but only if it means that at a dinner party, when everyone else starts to disparage the other side or ICE or the administration, there's enough wisdom and courage to have and to express compassion for all sides. And, yay for 500 wake-up calls, but only if that translates into love in ordinary daily life, in the uncomfortable moments, the shocking moments, the disgusting moments, or the discouraging, or even the disastrous ones. Suzuki Roshi, who founded San Francisco Zen Center, wrote, and I'm using this as my email tagline right now, so you might have seen it. When my master and I were walking in the rain, he would say, "Do not walk so fast. The rain is everywhere." So yay for everything that happens on the cushion or the screen, but only if we remember to be in the rain instead of hurrying to get out of it. Only if we remember to feel the slipperiness of the soap and listen to the water slopping against the metal and smell the clean clothes, and then fold them with love over and over and over. When I first started practicing, I had some strange things. I had these energetic rushes that began in my core and surged up through the top of my head. And once I was on retreat and I was getting tea, and suddenly I couldn't issue the commands to my body to make it happen. I tried walking up to the meditation hall and I had to sit down on the ground. I couldn't get there. Once I was walking on the hillside when everything went still and there was no difference between my body and the other beings and the earth and the sky. And once for a while, all that was present was this steady orange light and no movement and no sound. And I brought the early experiences to James, to my teacher, and he said, "That's interesting, keep practicing." And at first I thought he was saying, "You're getting somewhere, keep going." But later I realized, or at least I think this is what he was saying, there's nowhere to get. After you see something, there's just practice. After enlightenment, the laundry. So I find it reassuring that there's nothing to do but practice, and then lovingly fold the laundry and then go back and sit some more. It's like the wake-up call. There's nothing to do but hop on Zoom with all of you and practice and study and reflect and hop on Zoom again. It means that, unlike the law or the classroom or life in general, our practice isn't about getting ahead or beyond anything or anyone. It's just about practice on the cushion and practice in ordinary life. Right? It's about letting our ordinary life be our primary teacher and reminding us to be here be here for, whatever's here now with all of the qualities that we talk about and practice on the cushion, with love, with compassion, with wisdom. So do not walk so fast. The rain is everywhere.